Hi, my name is Patrice London, and I am starting a vlog about my pregnancy. And so I'm not really sure who I'm going to share this with, if I'm going to share it at all with anybody besides like my family, and I don't know. But I'm thinking that perhaps if I end up sharing this with people, like, and you have like questions about different things, then just let me know, and I'll answer them. I'm very happy to answer questions because I'm very like different. That's the best I can say for now. But anyway, I'm starting this vlog like pretty well into the pregnancy. I'm now 25 weeks and 5 days, and the different thing about this pregnancy is that among other like pregnancy vlogs is that I am I'm going unassisted. So the pregnancy is unassisted, as well as the birth will be unassisted, provided everything goes smoothly. And obviously, if something were wrong, I would take myself to the hospital. That's like, I'm not stupid, So I believe that a woman should give birth where and with whom she is most comfortable. Kind of like, some people when they, like a married couple, for instance. I know of married couples who can, like, one could be brushing their teeth while the other's on the toilet pooping, and that's totally fine for them, while another couple, is like, oh no, that's private, you can't be here for that, like that, no. So it's the same with birth. It's a very private situation, and for me, I feel most comfortable alone. I do not feel comfortable with a bunch of people running in and out and doing what they want and what they feel is necessary. I believe birth is a very natural, physiological process that is best left alone. And it just goes beautifully that way. And so since I mentioned that, I can also add that this is, I don't know how many, I've had a total of at least 7 losses, and I have 4 children right now. I have 3 girls and a boy, and I like a lot of space. So my oldest girl is 18. Then I have a 13-year-old daughter, a 9-year-old daughter, and my son is 3. And so because I go about pregnancy and birth unassisted, I do go to the chiropractor. I love my chiropractor. He's like the best. His whole family. And so that is very much a part of my care that I do for myself. My background is that of a doula as well as a student midwife, but I have to say that those are not qualifiers for a woman to choose to give birth unassisted. Any woman, we're made for this. So it's just not like this huge deal that the system makes it out to be. So my births have gone as follows. My oldest was born in the hospital. I was 21 years old, my husband and I, when we had her. And I went the traditional route. I had no idea. I wanted a natural birth. And when I say natural, I mean unmedicated, obviously vaginal. Because some people, when they say natural birth, they just mean vaginal, and it could include medication. I mean unmedicated. And because for me, I've always been very much afraid of what the drugs and interventions that they would do for that day would do to me later and do to my child later. So for me, I'm more afraid of all of that than I am of whatever my body is going to bring me for that day. So With my first, I did the hospital thing, and it was awful. It was really bad. They ended up giving me Pitocin, and they yanked her out of me with the vacuum extractor. The whole thing was really bad, but I didn't get an epidural or anything, so I felt everything. They ripped me apart. It was just horrible. So I don't want to get too into the gory details, but if you're interested in the gory details, I did write a book about it, and I will show the book at some point. Not now, but maybe in the next video or something. But I wrote a book called Empowered to Birth Naturally, One Woman's Journey to Home Birth. So my first birth was the hospital birth, and I did not like it at all. The second time around, I wanted to have a home birth, but I was living with, my husband and I were living with my mom. We were just out of college, and we moved from Florida, where we went to college, back to, back for me to DC. My husband's from New York. And my mom freaked out when I said that I wanted to have a home birth. She was really afraid. I don't know if she thought like blood was going to be splattered on the walls. I don't know what she thought was going to happen, but she was afraid. So she was like, no, I don't want the mess associated with birth in my home. And I'm like, I'm going to have this baby, so I need to have it the way I want to have it. And because my mom was freaked out, it freaked out my husband. And so they were both like, no. So in the end, I compromised, and we had a freestanding birth center birth at a birth center in DC, which sadly is no longer. That's like sucks, because I feel like a lot of women would choose that in between, like some don't want a hospital birth, but they're afraid of a home birth. And a freestanding birth center is a very nice like go between, for the two extremes. And so I had the birth center birth, and it was lovely. It was, in fact, that was my favorite birth, and I now know why, and I'll talk about that a little later. I don't know if today, but anyway. So my third birth with my third daughter was by that time we had moved to New Jersey, bought our own home, and I had a home birth with a midwife. In fact, that was a water birth, so I gave birth to her in this pool in the living room, and went on upstairs to my room and recovered, and it was great. It was good. But there were aspects of that birth that I didn't like, and I felt like kind of stupid, because I was like, now here I finally get the type of birth that I want in the environment that I want, but the birth center birth is my favorite still. Like, and I'm like, why is that? What am I doing wrong here? And so by the time I had my that third daughter, right after that I got it, like I went gung-ho into doula work, and I studied midwifery for a bit, and enjoyed all of it, and didn't enjoy some of it. A lot of like the doula work. The doula thing is like, can be very taxing. It's very rewarding work, but at the same time, with having studied midwifery alongside it, and the school that I absolutely, to this day, I love that school. It's AAMI, Ancient Art Midwifery Institute. It was there was like conflicting things going on there, where I'm learning that so many things that are done in the system are totally unnecessary and extremely harmful, and it's freaking me out to attend these births where I have to be there and support people through this process, and I'm like helpless as far as being able to really help them to make better decisions in the moment for themselves. So I've seen a lot of trauma. I've been traumatized myself from my own births, and then from other people's births as well. And also I slowed way down with the doula work and all. But anyway, so by the time I had my fourth, I went unassisted. It was an unassisted pregnancy, unassisted birth, and it was great and all. And with my son, I didn't even take a pregnancy test and all. I just knew I was pregnant. I'm very in tune with my body. I'm a Christian. I'm very prophetic, and so like I know things and I feel things, and like I see things, all that kind of stuff, and that made my doula work very interesting, like to say the least. I have to tell some of those stories sometimes, but anyway, so here I am, pregnant again, and this is my 6th pregnancy after 5 consecutive losses in a 9-month time span. And my husband and I were not trying to get pregnant, but we did have a heart-to-heart, and we had a moment where I personally had a moment with God where it was like God was like he wanted in on this part of my life. All 4 of my children were planned, and I thought I was in control of my fertility, frankly, and I liked it that way, but I felt led to give that control over to God, because the reality is I absolutely love children. I love like pregnancy, birth. I love the whole thing, and I'm open to more children. And so I went through this process of it was crazy, losing like baby after baby after baby. Like I said, 5 in a row. This is the 6th pregnancy, and it's very interesting. Like as we go along, I'll share more, but it's very interesting because I think I'm having twins. So we don't do sonograms, we don't do Dopplers, because it's sound waves, and we know in the spirit as well as in the natural, sound changes things. And shooting 90 decibels of sound at my baby doesn't sound like a good idea at all. So my husband likes to say a jet plane engine is 80 decibels. So the Doppler and the ultrasound is actually 10 decibels louder. And I'm not willing to do that at all. So we listen with other instruments, and all. We have a fetoscope, and we love listening to the heartbeat with that. That's a lot of fun. But anyway, I guess I will stop for now. I want to do this maybe once a week, and just give updates on how things are going in my pregnancy, and just share a little bit about me and all. So this one wasn't really an update about the pregnancy so much as just like an introduction to me. So but I will show you my belly now. So and I guess I should say why I suspect twins. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm short. I'm 4'10", so not very tall at all. And I tend to show early and big. And but this pregnancy, like this is like are you kidding me? Like it's like that, and it's been that way. So there's several markers that point to like twins. So one is that I had the morning sickness that I had lasted well into like about 20 weeks. And I'm like, what the heck? Where's my like 14-week cutoff with this mess? And it was just like going on, and even now, like even just like a few days ago, I was a little nauseated, and it's like, again, like you kidding me? Like where's my like grace period? Like when you're in the 2nd trimester, it's supposed to be that period where you're not too big, but you're showing, so it's cool, and you're not so tired anymore. You had this burst of energy. None of that has happened. Okay. In fact, I missed the burst of energy. I missed like the like smooth sailing, the cruise, and that part. I missed that. And in fact, at about 20 weeks, my back started hurting. And I'm like, no, we can't go the rest of this pregnancy with like back pain and like just all kinds of just, crazy that happens like a month before I give birth. But that's how this has been. And then there was the time I asked the Lord for, he's one of the ways he speaks to me is in dreams. And so I asked him, I said, okay, Lord, I want you to give me a dream and tell me who I'm carrying. And I knew that it was a boy. I knew I was going to have a boy because the Lord told me some time ago that I was going to have another son. And I asked him to name him, and he told me Jonathan. And when I looked up the name Jonathan, it said Yahweh has given. And I was like, like how sweet is that, So I knew I was going to have Jonathan. But so I asked the Lord, I'm like, okay, Lord, because I have people in my life, so many prophets, like all over the place, right? And several were like, oh, this is twins. This is going to be good. And I'm like, what? Like, no, like, let's not talk twins. They have to come out, okay? And and I asked him for the dream, and he gave me a dream. And in the dream, I had twin boys. But then I'm like, oh, but dreams are symbolic. They're rarely literal. So, there. But at the same night that I had that first dream, I've had more about twins, all about twins. And so that first night I had that first dream about twins. My oldest daughter had a dream too, that she was palpating my belly. That means, like, she can tell you, like, oh, this is a foot, this is an arm, like you can tell the position of the baby, all that kind of stuff. Well, in her dream, she was palpating my belly and she felt a baby on the left and a baby on the right. And I'm looking at her like, what? And so, so that has happened, and her dream actually has happened and all. But of course, I'm like in denial, I'm dismissing everything. I'm like, no, we're just mistaken, no. And she and my middle daughter could hear with the fetoscope long before I could. And there was a time where my oldest was listening to the heartbeats, and she's doing like this, like tapping on my leg to the beat that she's hearing. And so she's tapping, and then she's like, what is happening? I can't even count this fast. And I'm like, what? And so she's like, I'm hearing extra. It's like double. It went into double time. And I'm asking her if she's hearing this whooshing sound, because that will be the sound of the placenta, the pulse from that. And she's like, no, I know about the whoosh. There's no whoosh here. And I'm like, okay, but I'm still like, you're mistaken, like my daughter's suddenly a dummy, and she's not at all. So anyway, then it took for like the dreams, that the exaggerated pregnancy symptoms and all, like my breasts feel like if I lay down on my side and I get up, I feel like somebody has done a surprise augmentation as I lie on my side, and I didn't know anything about it, and suddenly I get up and it's like, boom, and I'm like, what? Like, it's crazy. Like, I still have pain to this day. 25 weeks and 5 days in, they're still sore. And I'm like, really? So, just a lot of exaggerated symptoms and all. And then I'm measuring, at like 23 weeks, I was measuring 33, 34 weeks. And feeling it too, because I can't go to the grocery store anymore and shop comfortably. My back is like, sit down now. And then my stomach is very close to the wheel, but thankfully my oldest drives. So, everything is taken care of, but it's just like very like, what is happening here? And so I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to say about that, because I'm good with like half stories. And then I come back and I'm like, oh. So I think that's about it. But oh no, it's not. See, told you. So what else happened? Thanksgiving Day, I was laying in the bed, because I have to lay down at times. I can't even sit up and all or stand. I have to just lie flat on a side. And so I was lying down. I turned off the fan and I said, I'm going to learn to hear with this daggone fetoscope, because it's not, you have to train yourself to hear with it. And so I took it out and I listened to my heart first, because I'm like, okay, if I can hear my heart, I should be able to hear this baby's, you know. And so I put it on. I heard mine, and then I put it on, and after a while I heard the baby's, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hear it. And so I'm hearing like da 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 da. Then that joker said da 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 da, and I was like, where's my whoosh? Where's the whoosh? Like, and I'm not hearing no whoosh. And so that was very like sobering for me. And then the very next day, I'm laying on my side. My husband is there, lying on the bed we're watching TV, and I'm feeling my belly near my navel, and I can feel two little heels, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I feel the little heels, and I'm telling my husband, I'm like, oh, this is nice. You should feel this. And he's like, no, because it kind of creeps him out to feel. It's like a sci-fi thing for him. It's very creepy. So I'm feeling the heels, and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. This ain't right. And he's like, what? And I was like, I feel the heels right here, but somebody is hitting me down in my crotch. And he was like, and I was like, this is wrong. This is not right. This is not right. And he was like, Treese, 2 babies. And so here's the thing. After he said that, well, both of us just sat there in silence for a bit, and then we just moved on, because my husband and I, when we don't want to discuss something that's like a little too much to process in that moment, we just kind of let it be. Like, it's been put out there. That's good enough, and we're just going to be quiet now and just move on. And so that's what we did. And after that, it was just like, oh my God, there's 2 people in here. There's seriously 2 people. And it's sad and pitiful, because, I mean, hello. Like, I hear from God regularly, and for other people, and for myself, and just, you know, and so it's nothing for me to, you know, be prophesying over people all the time and all that. And then, you know, I ask God point blank, give me a dream and tell me who I carry. And he does. And I'm like, dreams aren't literal. And like, you know, just all kinds of crazy, you know, and all these different things where, you know, I'm measuring so big and all that. And speaking of, let me show you now. Let me just show you how I look. So 25 weeks in, and this is me. So this is, like I said, 25 weeks and 5 days. And this is me from the side. And it's very low, and it's very heavy, and it's just like, oh my God, oh my God. So this is where we are. And I'm going to try to do this once a week, and just update you on what's going on and how I'm feeling, and hopefully it'll be fun. So thanks for watching. Bye.